Welcome back to another week of Eye of the Storm, a Guelph Storm podcast with myself, Ryan Drury, the voice of your Guelph Storm on Rogers TV. Very pleased to be joined by another one of the new faces on the team this year, rookie defenseman Dawson Morris. Mr. Morris, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
I'm doing well, and we've been enjoying watching you ply your trade on an OHL blue line early in your career here. I want to take you all the way back to this summer, though, the early spring, really, when the priority selection draft happened, and you found out that you were going to become a member of the Guelph Storm. I'm sure it was a very big day for you and your family up north. Take us through that experience and getting that call from George and the Storm that you were going to become a member.
Yeah, draft day, I was just sitting by the TV with my family. We're just kind of paying a little attention to the TV, kind of making breakfast, just waiting to see what was going to happen. I was just honestly, I was so excited just to be selected by any team, really. But when I got the call from George, it was unreal. It's like a dream come true, really. Ever since you're a kid, like for me anyway, I dreamt of playing in the OHL and being drafted and stuff like that. So for my name to be called out on the draft day was a special moment for me and my family. So
Absolutely. It would be for anybody. And you've been able to get into some games this year. You played in six so far. And I mean, bigger than just playing in your first game, you also got to experience another very special first. And that was your first career OHL goal. I know it came on a tough afternoon for the team, but that's not how you're going to look back on it. You're going to look
nope.
back on it with fond memories. Coming against the Brampton Steelheads, a rocket from the point that just got through everybody. Take us through how you were feeling in that moment, because that's a really, really big accomplishment.
Yeah, so obviously that felt great. It was it was a rough game for us, but that happens. Every team's gonna experience that at some point in their life, right? So we just have to move forward from that. But I got the pass and just shot it right away, and a little bit of traffic in front and found the back of the net. So I was super happy to get my first goal, and it was a great feeling.
When you got drafted, I always like to talk to George a little bit about the picks and get a feel for some of the kids that are going to be coming in and be part of the program. And one thing that he told me about you is that you're a really, really positive kid and you've got really high skill on the back end and you like to get your shot off. We obviously saw that. And I can tell just from talking to you, you're a very upbeat guy. And, you need guys like that in the room. I mean, where's that positive attitude come from? Because it's obviously infectious.
You know, I like bringing the positive attitude. I don't really like when the mood's down. It kind of just it's never really being it's never really fun being in a room with people who are being negative and just the energy levels are down, right? So I always try to be as positive as I can. Just bring the mood up. Obviously there's going to be a time and a place where you have to be serious or like the mood's a little bit down, but if I could try to just bring it up or just I like bringing that positive attitude to whether it's at school or in a game or practice, and just that's I like to do that, and yeah.
Dawson, you're a rookie on the team, and I know you've been through a lot of different types of training camps over your life, obviously having played at a high level up north, which we'll talk about for sure. But, what was different about coming into your first OHL training camp? Obviously, the intensity and the speed is a little higher, but what was the experience like for you just kind of getting your feet wet in your first training camp and making the team?
Yeah, so obviously in rookie camp, I didn't really know what to expect, like everyone else there. I was coming into it. I was like pretty nervous. I was just excited to be there and just work my hardest and see what I could make of myself there. And I feel like I had a decent rookie camp. Coming out of the draft, like I was uh, I was a little bit like I had lots of work to do over the summer, that's for sure, and I knew that. And like that's what George said after rookie camp was like, we like the way you play, stuff like that, right? But you have work to do over the summer, so show us what you have in main camp. So yeah, like rookie camp, I just worked my hardest, talked to as many people as I could, like just took in the opportunity, the experience, tried to get as much as advice and learn from the people that have been there for a year or two or three, and yeah, so it was good.
You're part of a defense core that is very young, but there's some great guys that you can kind of pick their brains. Obviously, rookie players last year. I'm thinking of guys like Quinn Beauchene and Ryland Singh, and obviously a guy that got into a game or two last year who's become a fixture in Grant Spada, and Rowan Top's a good veteran out there, and of course Cam Allen, who's got all the skill in the world. I mean, what's it like for you to walk into a D core like that and kind of find your own way?
Yeah, I it was for sure special just having the opportunity to be in a game, right? But I just kind of talk with all of them, kind of be like, what should I do? And like they all say pretty much the same thing, right? Just keep it simple, play your game, and they're all great. Like they're always like, if you have any questions, come talk to me. And I like I said, all the boys like they're great people, and they all have good experience in the OHL and just in their hockey careers, right? And one of the players I like talking with is Topper, Rowan Top, because he kind of took the same path that I'm in, right? I'm playing in the Goj with Air Centennials, and then also getting some games and some practices in with Guelph. So he also did that, and he told me like ask him if he like talk to him if I have any questions, and because like he knows what I'm going through. So if I have any questions or stuff like that, I go talk to him, and he's been great. So it's good to have people who kind of are going through the same path that I'm going in right now.
Well, and he's a great guy to follow for sure because Rowan was a guy that caught a lot of people and I'm sure the fans by surprise. You know, he got into some games as a rookie, started to chip away, and now he's a fixture in the lineup. I mean, he's become one of the Storm's most reliable defenders. And man, it's fun watching him hit people too. I mean, he can
Yeah.
really get a hold of guys out there. So, when I watch you play, and you know, we kind of got a loose scouting report of you coming into the season. You know, we were kind of told the kid's really quick on his feet. He's a good skater, two-way guy, can jump up in the play, good shot, obviously. Describe your game to us. If you were selling us to you're selling yourself rather to a scouting service, break your game down. What do you think are some of your strengths?
So I would say I'm a 200-foot defenseman. I like to take care of the D zone first. And then obviously, if I have an opportunity in the offensive zone, I'll make the best of it. I like to play a pretty physical game and just try to make like play as best as I can with the people around me. And yeah, I'm like physical defenseman. I like to use my shot and make good plays. And that's how the player I would describe myself as.
Were there guys growing up that you watched, maybe in the NHL or not even necessarily in the NHL? I mean, you're from an OHL market growing up, obviously, with the Wolves nearby. Were there guys growing up that you watched that you thought, boy, I'd kind of like to model my game after that guy?
Yeah, so watching I'm a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, but watching like I know Victor Hedman's not on the Leafs, but Victor Hedman stood out to me and he stands out to a lot of people. He's just a big physical defenseman, lots of skill, very smart, and takes care of the D zone first, and then can also create lots of opportunities in the offensive zone. So watching him growing up was probably one of the players I watched the most on the defensive side. And then as a forward, I like to watch Mitch Marner. I find he's like super good skater, really smart, just all around good player defensively and offensively.
Yeah, he
So yeah.
certainly is. I mean, you mentioned you're a Leaf fan. I mean, give me a breakdown of the decor this year. I mean, they made some pretty big additions. What do you think? You happy with it so far? What do you think of them?
Yeah, I think with the new coaching staff and they made a couple new adjustments to their team. I think we're gonna have to wait and see. Like it's hard to say, right? Every year is kind of the same story, but I hate like you never know. This year might be the year, right? So we're just gonna have to wait and see, and hopefully they could find a way.
You never know. That old adage with the Leaf fans, there's always next year, and maybe this is the year. You never know. I like Oliver Ekman-Larsson. I like Chris Tanev. Hey,
Yeah,
how about that? They're playing pretty well so far. You
yeah,
talk about coaching staffs and specifically new coaching staffs. There's one
yeah,
with your Leafs, and there's one with the Guelph Storm this year, and that's obviously Corey Stillman and Scott Simmons and Rob Davison, who of course played a long time in the NHL, and Scott had a long pro career as well, played over in England a little bit. Rob played a long, long time in your position. And of course, Corey was a great offensive player, won 2 Stanley Cups. I'm sure that there's just a wealth of knowledge available to you guys on the bench. What has it been like for you forming a relationship with the coaching staff and learning as you go?
Yeah, uh, every time that I'm in Guelph, I try to just take advantage of the opportunity that I'm given and ask as many questions as I can and see advice that they would give me. And obviously, like in practice or in a game, if I mess up and they kind of give they like constructive criticism, right? You got to take it the right way. Obviously, in the moment, like they might seem upset or something like that, but it's they want the best for me and the other players on the team, right? So you just got to take it in a positive way and learn from it, and then uh, try to work on it and get better every day.
That's the right attitude to have, I think. And I
Yeah.
think if the team brass watch this interview, which I know some of them do, they'll be happy to hear that answer. And I mean, you're in a unique position. You mentioned obviously taking a similar path to your teammate Rowan Top, in that, spending some time in the Goj, the GOJHL, the Junior B Loop, and obviously you've played 14 games so far with the Air Centennials. You get 7 points. You're having a great season for them. Obviously, you're kind of getting used to maybe a slightly different system down there, but you're still able to, play to your strengths in the Junior B League. Tell me a little bit about what that's like, because I've covered the GOJHL for a long, long time. I love the league. I think it's still very underrated, and there have been a lot of good OHL and NHL players that have come through the Goj. Tell us a little bit about how you're enjoying the league so far. What's it like?
Yeah, no, I've really enjoying the league so far. Coming from like Sudbury up north, I had the like when I got drafted to Guelph and after like rookie camp, I had to make a decision kind of if I wanted to move up because Air like they gave me a roster spot, and so I had to make a decision whether or not I wanted to play like in the Noj up like back home or if I wanted to come here. And I was like, it'd be a better experience and opportunity to like move here, right? And so no, it's been good, playing with just like higher level players. Obviously, like it's not the OHL, but it's a bigger gap than AAA and what I've been used to. So it's been helping me develop, get confident, and everything like that. Also, like coaching wise, we got a good coaching staff this year, and they've been teaching us lots, and they've been hard on me, but it's been good. That's what I need to. I just gotta keep it simple and develop my game and work on like something every single day and try to get better as much as I can. And but no, it's been good. Like all the boys at the in the team are good, and yeah, it's been a good experience so far.
Yeah, and that Centennials program, they're run really, really well. They always have been, even back in their junior C days. It's a really well run program, and it's got a great rink too. And the ice there is
Yeah,
always fantastic as well.
yeah,
You mentioned obviously, and we've touched on it a little bit. You're a northern boy. You're from up north. You're from the Sudbury region. They build guys a little different up there. People are a little tougher from up north. At least I think so, anyway. Take us back to growing up. Obviously, what a great place to grow up and be a hockey player up north. You still get some cold winters and some outdoor rinks up there. I mean, what are some of your favorite memories when you were a really little kid first falling in love with the game?
yeah. I remember skating on the outdoor rink there with my brother, my dad, my mom, my papa, like my mom's dad there. Just messing around, having fun, and then once I started playing like rep hockey, it was just a awesome time just going to the rink with my buddies, just skating around, having fun. And then once I realized like I was like I started to fall in love with the game. I was like, like I think I could if I focus and try hard, I think I could make something of myself. So once I realized that, I started to take it a little more seriously and obviously like still have lots of fun and stuff, right? But and then yeah, so my brother was also a big inspiration. Like he played AAA. I personally think like he had an opportunity to continue playing hockey, but he decided to go like just go to university, and he took a different path. But that's all right. Everyone has different choices, and it is what it is, right? But he inspired me, and it was I'd always go watch his games, and he also played with players like Alex Ferran on the Wolves. Um, and he obviously being a first round draft pick, getting drafted to the NHL, like he was also a great player to watch. And so growing up, yeah, I just fell in love with the game and watched my brother and lots of hockey growing up, and here I am now.
Absolutely. Here you are in the OHL and carving your own path. And obviously, growing up there, the Wolves have been a fixture in the community for such a long time. They're one of the older franchises in the CHL, let alone the Ontario Hockey League. And I'm sure you guys had a lot of fun going to that old barn. I still love that old rink. It's something, man. It's got a vibe in there. You get the old coyote hanging up. It's a pretty special place. It's old, yes, but it's got a vibe in there, eh?
Yeah, yeah, it for sure does. I haven't spent too much time there. We had like a couple practices, couple games growing up there. But yeah, it's obviously it's quite the place.
It
Yeah.
absolutely is. I know that you spent a lot of time growing up playing local minor hockey, and then you end up getting into the AAA program with the Nickel City Capitals. You captained one of those teams, and then you played on the U16 AAA Sudbury Wolves, and you're the captain of that squad as well. I mean, you've obviously got some great leadership qualities out there. I'm sure your brother played a factor in that. Your parents, of course, your grandparents. I mean, all people that would have inspired you along the way. Where do you think that great leadership quality comes from? Because they don't just stitch letters on anybody.
Yeah, I think just growing up, being like my family, they're hard on me. Like obviously they want like me to just do good in whatever I want to do, right? But growing up, like they yeah, I think just my parents and my family, I think honestly, and just the way I am, I like having a positive attitude, and it's not like it's kind of hard to find people that are, have a good attitude like all the time and are just trying to lift people up, right? So I think that's a big factor in it. And just like my love for the game, like I want to be at the rink, I want to get better and make people around me better. And I would say, yeah, like stuff like that.
I want to ask you too, just about Sudbury, and it's always been a really cool place. My girlfriend's whole family's from up there. I've spent a lot of time up in the greater Sudbury area. It's a beautiful place, especially in the summertime. Some tough winters. Like I said, they breed some tough hockey players up there, man. And of course, I think the world at large had Sudbury put on the map by a little show called Letterkenny, and
Yeah.
of course Shorzy as well now. I'm sure that you've seen maybe bits and pieces of one of the shows, both of the shows. Do you have any like favorite moments from the shows, favorite characters, maybe even because it's pretty popular?
Yeah, this might come to a surprise for most of you guys, but I haven't really watched like much Leonard Kenny or Shorzy.
Ah, okay.
Seen like I've seen a couple clips there on Instagram and stuff, but obviously it's from the clips I've seen, it's funny and stuff like it's funny and kind of ridiculous, but it's makes you laugh, and it's uh yeah, but I haven't really watched like I don't watch too much like TV and stuff like that. I like watching hockey games, but yeah, haven't. Oh, hold on. Did I
All
cut
good.
out here? Sorry, I think my dad's calling me. He's anyway. There we go. Sorry about that.
All good.
Anyway, um, but yeah, like I was saying, like I watched lots of hockey, but I don't really find myself sitting down and watching too much TV, which is that's all right.
Well, I mean, you're kind of busy scoring goals in the OHL and being a great hockey player. I mean, you don't got time to watch TV. Come on over here. I will say, if you get a chance to dig into, I mean, I think you'd like Shorzy in particular, and
Yeah.
I think why it's so popular, guys that grew up playing hockey, like we all kind of grew up with a Shorzy. Everybody kind of knows a
Yeah,
Shorzy on their
yeah,
team, the guy that won't shut up
yeah.
and but he's a great guy off the ice. We've all played with those guys. One thing that's great about the show, I think, in my opinion, though, is how much they celebrate that northern area and really the city of Sudbury as a whole. And they shoot in all these great iconic spots, and they really try and pump up the northern area of our great province. If you were to take somebody who's never been to Sudbury before around, what are some of your favorite places to hit in the city?
Yeah, so my house there is we're kind of in the outskirts, like in the bush. So I like spending time like doing stuff outside, mountain biking, spending time on the lake. But if someone's like coming to Sudbury, obviously there's like the big tourist attractions like the Big Nickel or Science North or
Yes.
that, right? But if you're like a outdoorsy person, Ramsey Lake they offer like canoe club, like there's like a canoe club. You go spend the day on the lake, or you could go sailing or whatever. And there's also like there's good Kiwi Park. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's uh, it's they're coming along well. They started about a couple years ago now, and they've made some great trails, and it's just a good organization. And I worked there. Well, I worked for Adventure 365, which is like a ski bike club, a ski bike and run
Nice.
club, and they ran a bike camp through Kiwi Park. So during the summer, I worked there. We just taught kids how to bike and you know be good people and stuff like that. So it was good. And
That's awesome.
but back to your original question, yeah, like Kiwi Park, Walden Bike Club has good trails and just like stuff like that. And obviously, if you want to go check out some hockey, go see a Wolves game or something. And yeah, that's what I would say.
It's a great spot, and it's the best place to be if you want to be outdoors. And we spend a lot of time up around Onaping and Windy Lake, and there's some great provincial parks up there, man. It's a really, really cool area, that's for sure. I want to ask you a little bit about, some. I always like asking your teammates this. I've asked them all. Are you a real superstitious guy with your equipment? Like some guys are real. Tommy Budnick is extremely picky. He admitted to it on the show that he's one of the worst ones and drives the equipment staff insane. Where do you fall on the spectrum? Are you real particular or are you kind of loosey goosey?
I wouldn't really say I'm too particular. The only thing that I would really say is when I'm getting dressed, I like putting my like left side, like left shin pad and stuff before my right. Kind of just go from left to right. Tape my sticks before every game. Usually have a little pregame nap a couple hours before the game, but other than that, nothing really too like if I don't do something that I do the game before, and for example, if I play good one game and I don't do that the next game, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to have a bad game or something. I just kind of go into every game with a good attitude and just get myself ready before the game. And so yeah, not really too superstitious.
I love it. The left to right thing's pretty common. I think a lot of
Yeah.
guys do that. I've heard that one a lot for sure. You talk about your stick, obviously the weapon of choice for any hockey player. What's your preferred tape job? Are you real particular about that? I know guys, if there's one thing that a guy would be particular about, it's the tape job. What's your preferred pattern?
Yeah, so I kind of been messing around with it a little bit for the past, like, I don't know, a while. I couldn't really, I don't know. I had a couple there that I was like, oh, this is all right, but nothing too great. But then I think at the beginning of this year, I finally found the perfect tape job. So I don't know, just like standard tape job, heel to toe, but I start like halfway from my half the blade, not heel to toe. Um, and then I don't know, just like a couple times around at the top and put some grip tape on it, and that's nothing too fancy, but pretty standard. It gets the job done. So
There you go. Are you a standard guy or do you use the double wide? The double wides become pretty popular.
yeah, uh, I change it up sometimes. You know, I used to I used to be on the wide tape there for a little bit, and then we ran out back in air, and Scotty, our equipment manager, was like, oh, it's kind of a pain to buy this stuff. So I just started using the regular stuff again, and I just been using that since. So, but I switch back and forth sometimes.
There you go. So you're really not particular. You didn't complain at all about no double wide. Okay, so we know. All right. What kind of stick and skates are you using? What do you prefer? What kind of lie, flex? Walk me through it.
Yeah. So, um, I was using the Hyperlight ones for the past year, and then once I got to Guelph, you get all the special treatment. So I got some new skates. Got the Hyperlight twos blacked out. They're awesome. And then for stick, I got the Trigger 9 Pro with 85 flex P90 TM curve, and it's been doing. I'm not too sure what the lie is, to be honest. I don't know, but it feels good. So that's my weapons of choice.
There you go. Those are typically fives. Lie five was my go-to lie. I love a
Yeah,
lie five. Yeah, especially with the P90. You mentioned getting the new skates. Like I remember
yeah,
hearing years ago that, and you talk about guys being particular about the equipment. I remember reading a story years ago that Duncan Keith he would wear a brand new pair of skates every single night, which sounds insane to me. How often would you go through a pair? Like, do you hold on to them for years or do you switch them out pretty often?
well, so growing up, I didn't really buy the most like expensive equipment or like top of the line. I just kind of got what got the job done, right? So I just always had kind of like mediocre skates and sticks and stuff. But then obviously, being with Guelph, it's like Christmas, getting all new stuff. But yeah, so that's and then I would say probably like a pair of skates a year, depending on how beat up they get. Like, I think that's a reason. Obviously, everyone else has different opinions, but like the past couple of years, I've gone through like a pair of skates a year, and I'm at a point in life that my feet have stopped growing. I think so. I'm not gonna have to keep like getting bigger skates, which is good. So yeah, I should have these skates for a while, and then get get some new ones probably next year, and keep these as a backup. Or yeah, exactly.
There you go. Like I know that there are some guys that they have that one piece of equipment, sticks in particular, that just really do something for them. I remember hearing a story a while back when Mike Green was still playing for my Washington Capitals, and they stopped making the Easton Synergies, and he loved
Yeah,
them, and he was out of them, and they don't make them anymore. Like Easton stopped making sticks and he put a plea out on social media for anybody who had one to mail them to him and he would give them free tickets. And people sent him like 50 of them. Do you ever remember like growing up? Because I certainly do. Do you ever remember growing up and there being like a particular piece of equipment that you really, really wanted? Like it came out and you were like, man, I would really love to have that. It was always a stick for me.
yeah. I think I would probably say stick. Sticks. Yeah, I would say sticks. The newest stick or a stick that I've wanted. I just be like, oh, that looks nice, or I wish I could have that. And then sometimes, you know, I'd get lucky and maybe for my birthday or something, get a new stick, and that would always be great. But I would say either stick or like skates. I like new skates too, like especially with the new custom now. You could do your own colors, your own stuff like that. It's something else. So that's what I would say: sticks and skates. But
Absolutely. I remember when the Warrior Dolomite came out and everybody had to have that, either the Kovalchuk or the Kovalev curve. I was a Kovalev guy with the easy backhand. Everybody had to have it because they're all fancy. They had the dragon on it, like they looked wild. Everybody had to have Warrior Dolomites when they came out. Um,
yeah.
I want to ask you just as well. Obviously, the room, a big part of it is getting everybody pumped up with the music. What kind of music are you into? Because your room is a big country room. It's very country. What are you listening to get pumped up?
So. when I'm with Air, I just whatever whoever's on music, I'm not too picky. They usually have some rap, country, or like EDM, like party mixes or whatever it's called there. And then in Guelph, I know Cam Allen's always on the music. I like his music. It's he's got good aux. It's like rap usually before the games, and then if we're in the gym, some country music, sometimes like some EDM, like party mixes or whatever you call them there. But no, I like Cam Allen has good aux, and then like I'm not too like I said superstitious. So music before games, it's just kind of whatever's out there. I just listen to it, and yeah.
Do you have like a particular favorite artist you're into? Somebody that's on repeat quite often on the iPhone or what?
Yeah, so when I'm like away from the rink, just like on my own time, I really enjoy like country music. Zach Bryan, uh, he's a good artist. Sam Barber, like artists like that, kind of. I like it. I enjoy listening to those types of songs and those artists.
There you go. All right. Well, I need to ask you this as well because I know that there might be a little contest coming up at some point where one of you guys might have to play a fan at some point. Maybe it'll end up being me. Were you a big NHL player growing up? Like, did you play the video games much? I know the new one's out. Like, if did you play it much growing up? And like, how good would you say are you? And have you played any of the other guys?
So I haven't played any of the other guys yet. Growing up, me and my brother, we were always bugging my mom to get a PlayStation.
Yeah.
Uh, and so finally one day, she was like, if you guys want to buy it, like we had to pool our money together. So we bought the PS4 when it came out. And I remember we were all excited and we had NHL like 2018 or something like that. I don't know what it was. And then we set it up in the basement, and then first game we're playing, and my brother broke the controller, like not on purpose. Yeah, so so that was quite the first game of NHL that I played. But no, and then after that we got a new controller and kind of just messed around on the PlayStation. Uh, Played a little bit of Fortnite, a little bit of Minecraft, but yeah, I was never a really big video game. Back like in grade 7 and 8, I would say was probably my video game days. But then, and then once COVID hit, I think I sat in front of the TV for too long, uh, and I just kind of got bored of playing video games. I was like, you know what, might as well like go do something else. So, and then I know my brother still plays like Call of Duty and stuff like that with his friends sometimes, but yeah. So, and
Well,
I
I'm
and I don't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say,
Oh,
like, I'm just curious who on the team because last year there was a bit of infighting because the rumor was that Bonesy, Braden Bowman, last year's captain, was the best. And he
yeah.
claimed he was the best. But then a lot of other players said, no, hold on just a second. Ryan McGuire might be better than him. Now with Bonesy gone and Ryan still sitting there claiming the crown, I think the crown is up for grabs. So I'm just curious who do you think on the team might be the best? Just by looking at him going, he looks like he might be a good shell player.
You know, like I said, I haven't played any of the boys in Chell yet,
Yeah.
but Migsy, I have to go with Migsy. He's just great attitude, just always laughing, like loves talking, and just yeah, I know he looks like he could play a solid game of Chell there.
I
And
I I would love to play him because I used to be really, really good at it. Like I was in the top 100 players. No big deal. That was like a decade ago when I had time. But
yeah,
I've heard a lot of talking that he's real good at it. And I someday I would like to pull a TV into the hallway and we'll put this to the test. We'll have like a single elimination team tournament. I think that that's what needs to happen.
yeah, I think that would be a great idea. You know, find time when everyone could play a game of Chell and do like King's Court, like the winner stays in, and I guess that'll decide the best Chell player. I guess I don't
You
know.
understand the rules. You understand the rules. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Well, hey, man, I want to say it's been a pleasure to watch you play earlier in your career here. Want to wish you the best of luck going forward, whether we see you in a Centennials jersey or a Storm jersey. It's been fun having you around the team, and we wish you nothing but the best going forward, man. Thanks so much for doing this, Dawson.
Yeah, no, thanks a lot. It was lots of fun. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody, remember, you can find this podcast on all your favorite podcast apps and the Guelph Storm website. And if you want to come down, watch Dawson Morris and his Guelph Storm teammates in action, visit the box office at the Sleeman Center or visit the Guelph Storm website. We'll be back next week with more Eye of the Storm.